Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today we have an exciting matchup between two teams looking to perform on a big stage. It's the Texans going up against the Lions. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He hits his target, left side, Watson. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there he knew.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
As one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, don't worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
Here comes the Lions punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general. The football, but I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on second down. Time running out here on the play clock. Now they'll run it on the toss. Got some room at the 30. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And the wideout in motion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, if I have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. But they face a second and long to start things out. In motion goes the tight end. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from the 20. And the Texans are in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And to cap it off, a touchdown run of 20 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. They'll play action.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. He got it stripped, but you can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
Fielded just inside the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to lead. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. And Detroit getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And his throw is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Now a handoff looking right. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. Back to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And it is now 21-0. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 3rd down, it's Malone. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. Nice footwork at the 25. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try to loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Second down and 4. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He was superb a week ago. 3 sacks in that affair. Now 1 here in the second quarter.
Well, how about our conversations this week? With him, it was pretty simple. He said, I've got a few combinations I can try it out they haven't seen yet. And on the flip side, they thought they had a plan to block him. Might need to come up with something else because he looks like he's getting loose now.
Punch, counter punch.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go now. Leopard. Watch him now, Barney.
Now they try the right side here. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 50 yards. And the Texans continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he fields it cleanly. And he'll be knocked down sideways. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Down to about the 22 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. In motion comes the tight end left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Detroit!
On 3rd down, it's Bennett. Oh, he shifts past him. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave him looking at a 4th and 1.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Texans add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Watson. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They're going to look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. On play action, they'll throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Back to throw. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
The The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Shreds him with a stiff arm. He got 29 yards that time. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Watson. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And now out comes Houston. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Check, Patriots. Gone.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 3rd down. It's Bennett. Room here to run. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
No. All right, now, lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now here's a carry heading left. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ryan. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.